All right, so now I've got a completely fresh, brand spanking new scene here. We'll just go quickly through the steps to set it up for ARCore again. First one just been change the platform to Android, go into your player settings, multi-threaded rendering off, change the company name to something cool, and then minimum API level to 7. And at the bottom, just check ARCore supported. Okay, and then we just need to drag in that ARCore package that we had downloaded. And we're going to use everything except for the I'll import the Hello AR example anyway, but yeah, we'll create our own scene from scratch. We at least using a few of the components that came with ARCore. Actually, we're only going to be using one of the ARCore components today. It's just called the session component. The session is like kind of like, oh, okay, so I see you want to do an ARCore thing, so it's just kind of like a kind of hitting play, hitting play on this session, and then all this ARCore stuff just happens in its own update loop sort of thing. We'll probably get a bit of a sense once we start making things. Okay, so the first step is just go to the main camera, add component, and we're gonna first of all add the pose. What is it? A track pose driver. That's a Unity component, and we're just going to change the pose source to color camera. And now the update type in how ARCore does it, they've been doing it before render instead of update and before render. I haven't mucked around too much with it yet, so I'm not sure, but they probably wouldn't make too much of a difference. Anyway, so the next one we just need to add is the session component. And that session component won't be there unless you've imported the ARCore package. Okay, and this AR session config, we're just going to go hit this little search button and then just go into assets, and you should find this default session config here. And first person camera, we should just be able to drag this camera down to fill it in there. Okay, and yeah, that actually should be everything we need to get all of our motion tracking for our camera. How we can test this is just go game object, 3D object, create a cube. Make sure that its scale is set to something a bit small. First of all, make sure its position is at 0, 0, 0, and scale maybe like 0.1, and like, I don't know, something sensible, because 1 is a meter in AR, which you know in a game is like, oh, a meter, that's not not that big, but in AR you actually got to walk around it, and if you start inside the cube you won't see it. So we'll start with something a bit sensible. Say 0.2, and maybe I want to see, like, so Z is forwards and backwards. I don't know. Maybe I want to see what it looks like if I put that to 1,000. So it's got like a really long rectangle, I suppose. Yeah, and actually that should be everything. We should be good to go. So you can kind of just go to build settings. Make sure we add the current scene that we got through the build. I'll just call it test motion tracking. Save it, build and run. All right, so here we are in the game, and yeah, you can just start playing around with things, and you start noticing all kinds of stuff, like when the tracking's really good, when the tracking's really bad. What happens if you start going really close to it, how close you get before it starts clipping, that sort of thing. And some of these are, settings that we can change and play around with as well. But yeah, so as you can see, that's the guts of a motion tracking system, right? So like, we've got 6 degrees of freedom, movement with the phone. I mean, like, yeah, in itself, it's awesome. So, but yeah, of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff we could do with this. Yeah. Perhaps next we can start like doing some like a painting app where you could like press the button to keep painting around a little cube or something. Yeah, shapes and that. Yeah, see how we go. If anyone's got any ideas, please share them. It would be awesome.